Hi everyone and welcome to the latest video. In today's video I'm going to be working on this little oak side table or hall table, and this is for one of my subscribers. It's actually the same person I did the piece of furniture in my last video for. It's a lovely little table. It's solid oak and bits of veneer, and it's probably circa 1946, something like that, because it is actually utility furniture just after the Second World War. So hope you enjoy the video and we will get on with the restoration. There are a few different methods to remove the old finish, and what I generally do is I go in first with a scraper just to see how easy that finish is to remove. And in this case it was really easy. It just looked like a thin coat of shellac. This shellac coating is really thin, so I don't think there was many coats of it on there. The inside of the drawer is a little bit messy, got pen marks on it, and it's not terrible, but I think it'd benefit from a bit of a sanding to clean it up. So fortunately this one's not nailed in, it's got two little screws, so it should just be a case of taking them out and sliding the bottom out, but we'll see. Was easy. You can see it's got these little runners inside which are going to be a bit of a pain. Sorry, you probably can't see that. These little runners inside, but rather than taking them off, I'll sand round them. It's just going to be easier to get in. I mean, ideally if that wasn't there I could just, the sanding machine would just go straight through like it can on that bit, but we'll get round that, no problem. How dirty that is. The bottom side of this drawer is rough cut wood. It's not been planed, so that's why you don't get like a clean finish unless you planed it or sanded it and sanded it and sanded it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this a quick clean up with a bit of white spirit. That should be fine. 4-0 steel wool. The circular orbital sander can't get into the corners, obviously. I don't want to take this off because it's glued on. So I'm going to use this attachment for this sander. And hopefully I can get into this corner. You can see there's still a bit of the old finish that I can't get the scraper right into, and I don't want to scrape that way because it'll go against the grain. So I'm going to use some methylated spirit because this finish is shellac. So for these small bits, this is fine. I could have done the whole lot with it, but I would have needed a lot and it would have taken a long time. So just use this. Once this is all dried up, I can just sand the rest of the bits off. We've just come in here. Taste it. We've only just come in. Right, are you ready? Steady, go! Right, come on, let me get one for you, because you take forever. Let me get one. Come on. Put it on there for a watch. Ready. Steady. Go! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it stuck? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Do you want me to get it? Okay, I'll get it. Just a minute, just a minute. Have you got it? Yay! Happy now. Oh, this dog lover. Hit a bit of a snag. While I was scraping and sort of using this to get off that residual, I noticed this joint was a bit loose, so I've pushed on it a little bit and it's just popped out. So I'm going to see how easy the rest of them are going to come out, and then it'll just make it easier to clean all this, you know, sand and do all this area, and then I can re-glue it all back together. So I'll just see how easy that is to come apart. I don't want to obviously start damaging it if I don't need to, so I'll give that a go now. I've got these clamps. These were just quite cheap clamps, but they reverse, so I've already done it. So what, that bit is normally on that side and it clamps that way. If you unscrew that and switch them round, what you can do is you can use it to prise things apart. Look, so I'll show you. There we go. That's just come apart. There you go. Seems a bit brutal, but it'll just be easier to work on now. Well, there was certainly a downside to removing that shelf. It pulled all the other joints apart. Well, they obviously weren't glued very well. So, and there's a little bit of damage there which I've glued as well. So I've had to re-glue the top joints just to make sure they're sound, and now I can work on the shelf while that's drying. Once I'd done the sanding of the shelf and cleaned all that up, it was just a case of putting it all back together. So I just needed to clear the old glue out of the joints, re-glue it, put it all back together, clamp it and leave it to dry. Just need to put this drawer bottom on now. So it slides in, but I've noticed there was 2 little blobs of glue at the top end just to stop it from moving around even though it's screwed in. So I'll just put a couple of drops of glue at the top. Okay, just need to do something with this missing veneer, and there's a little piece there, and that is a little bit loose. So when I put the new piece in there, I'll glue underneath that as well. So I just need to straighten this edge off first, and then put a replacement piece of veneer in there. We'll do that now. Okay. Okay. So this is an oak veneer. This is an oak veneer. Don't worry too much that this is lighter, because we can darken this up with the stain after. It's just the grain pattern. Try and get the grain pattern as close to as possible. Oops. And all we need to do is let's cut that back a bit. Right, and we can glue that on and then trim it down afterwards. So that's one. There's the other one. Just trim that down. I'll stick those on now. Just using a bit of hide glue. I've lost the end off my clamp, I've no idea where it's gone. Well, that's a complete mystery, because this clamp's just fallen off and the end, the plastic end of it to stop it scratching the wood, has come off. I've spent the last 5 minutes looking for it, I can't find it anywhere on the floor, so I've no idea. So I've used a different clamp. One of life's unsolved mysteries that's going to be. going to be using my favourite stain. Well, not my favourite colour, but my favourite brand. I've got it all over my arm, look. Ah, it doesn't come off this very easily. Oh, David. This is teak. I used this on the other piece I did for the same customer, so I'm going to do this in the same colour. So yeah, use this. I'll just try and get this off my arm first. I don't normally do the top first, but I'll do the top first because I know these repairs will be a slightly lighter colour than the rest, just because of how they are already. So that'll give this a better chance to dry quicker, and then I can just touch in maybe another coat of stain over these little repairs. So I'll do this first. Yeah, you can see they're lighter, obviously. They won't be massively lighter because it's the same wood, it's just that's a lot newer. Okay, let's have a look at this repair again, see where we're at. Yeah, it's coloured a bit, but it's not enough, so I will touch. We'll use some of this and may need to use a different type and colour of stain just to match it, but we'll see how we get on with this. Okay, looks a bit better. You having a little rest? Oh dear. Is it good girl? Hey? Oh. You're very tired. You've been up about 10 minutes. Good girl. I think this may well be brass. It's certainly not magnetic, but I'm not 100% sure. It feels quite heavy. So I'm just going to give it a little buff on here and see how we get on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's brass. Just to keep the brass that I've polished up as shiny as possible, I'm going to just give it a light coat of the lacquer. Looks a bit cloudy at first, but it dries nice and bright. It's time for the top coat now, and I'm using an acrylic lacquer for this piece. So this in total I think had 3 coats. So coat of lacquer, let it dry, and then I wipe down with a brown paper bag tack cloth all the dust off, and then multiple more coats. So that's what I'm doing on this piece. It sometimes does that, it just blasts out when I'm not expecting it. So I'm going to do that as well. Put some in there. Look at this, when I'm just waxing the drawers at the end, and I've totally missed this. I've just hit the drawer with the brush, and look, you can see that. The dovetails have come loose. So I'm not finished. I just need to get some glue in there and clamp it and leave it to dry. So, not ideal, but not the end of the world either. So I was using hide glue before, earlier on in the project, and I've used a syringe. Now, obviously that hide glue is all, so it's not dried, but it's all set up in there, and the nozzle of the syringe will be full of glue. So rather than throw these away and just use a new one with new glue, you can actually reactivate it. So just use some warm water, it doesn't have to be boiling. Just drop that in there for a couple of minutes. And this is a good thing with hide glue. If I'd had used wood glue, I wouldn't be able to do this. It just saves you throwing things away that you don't need to. So I'll just leave that in there for a few minutes, and there should be enough in that syringe to fix that little dovetail issue. There you go. You can see how much is in the syringe at the bottom. This is all stuck to the side, so that's great. Check the other one actually. Yeah, that one's fine, it's just that one. So I'll clamp that now. I hope you've enjoyed watching so far, and I'd just like to say a big thank you to everybody that supports me, Daisy, and our channel. If you'd like to support us, then I'll leave all the links in the description, whether that's the Buy Me a Coffee app, the Super Thanks button, or my Amazon wish list. I really do appreciate all your support, and if you would like to leave a comment, then please do. And also, if you could hit the like button, it really helps the channel. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. So not much to do now, just add the hardware on, and then we're ready for the reveal. So as always, thanks very much, and thanks for watching.